press 4.
Thanks. All right, hi everyone, welcome
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To erase and re-record, press 3. To continue recording where you left off, press 4.
This could be all on his voicemail now. His entire
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To erase and re-record, press 3. To continue recording where you left off, press 4. Sorry you're having trouble. Your message has been sent. Please try again later. Goodbye.
All right. Yes. So I just want to, we're ready to get started. I just want to confirm that Tony is here, who is our 5th ZBA member. I think that's you. Can you use the raise your hand function or somehow communicate that you can hear us and that you're here?
Are you asking for me? Because I can finally hear you.
Oh, yay. Okay, great. Thanks, Tony.
Apologies for that.
No problem. All right. So we are ready to get started. We're going to move forward with the 40B comprehensive special permit for Veterans Crossing. Just a quick recap of last meeting. This is a continuation, so this is just a meeting that continues over multiple meetings. Last month we had a full overview of the plan, the proposed plan. We also spoke to abutters, and we went through a variety of requests and concerns for the developer to address, and they have addressed a bunch of those. So I think the next step now would be to sort of walk through any changes that have been made for the plans. I know there was a shadow study to walk through. There's some more images, and then there's also some changes with the landscaping. So if we can walk through that, and then we'll kind of walk through step by step the different requests and what the responses have been. And just kind of clarify those. Also, I forgot to introduce Paul. Paul Haverty is our consultant. He's going to be guiding us through this process. So is there anything you'd like to share, Paul?
Good evening. For the record, Paul Haverty, Borowski, Haverty, and Silverstein. I'm here on a grant from the Mass Housing Partnership to provide technical assistance to the board during the course of this process. I don't have anything specific to address right now, but I'm happy to answer any questions as we move forward.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
All right, so would you like to start just kind of by going through any changes that have been made with the plan since we last met?
Sure. So thank you. Just as a quick introduction again to the team, my name is Yara Vergut. I'm a senior project manager for Neighborhood Housing. We have John Smolek, our zoning attorney, Jacob Lemieux, civil engineer, Christopher Curlin, TAT, and Holly Grace, also from BBH. So as you mentioned, we have worked through both the comments that we received from town staff via memo on September 8th and the comments that were provided by the board as well as the community present on the ZBA meeting on the 16th. And we've made some progress plans and progress and updated our plans in the form of a progress plan set for comment. As you mentioned, we have a shadow study as per request. We have a new rendering of one of those perspectives, and we also have a memo which details our response and how we've addressed each of the items. But we'd like to talk about it sort of on, on a more summarized manner, by touching on first the civil and then the civil items that progress that we've made, and then the architectural items. We've also had a neighborhood housing as per request from a couple of the neighbors of Pine Street, across the street from our future development. Met with them also last Wednesday, after we submitted the plans to the board. And we're And we heard their concerns, and in summary, some of their concerns were, they'd asked if the location of the driveway could be removed off of Pine Street, possibly to the dispensary lot. They were concerned about their request for shifting the main entrance away from the Pine Street as well. And they continue to be concerned with traffic and safety around the Pine Street and the surrounding streets. So we're, on those three items, at least the first two items, we're in the middle of, we would like to further discuss, and we are in the process of analyzing it, but we do not have a response currently, as we plan on also communicating and working this through with the town and the planning staff. So that is the summary, and now I'm going to pass it on to Jacob so he can talk us through the civil plans, and I'm going to share, I'd like to share our plan set, and we'll focus on the layout material plan. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Oh, yes.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Lemieux with Hancock Associates, 315 Elm Street, Marlboro. I'm the civil engineer on the project. As soon as, here we go. Mm-hmm. So we've made a number of changes based off of the DPW as well as the abutter comments. First off, we've raised the elevation of the first floor of the building up to elevation 16. So we're now compliant with the building elevations, and we've got 2 extra feet above the floodplain, which gives us climate resiliency for the future. We have adjusted our parking lot. We are now proposing a one-way circulation. This allows us to have an area on the right as you pull in for a loading area there, while still allowing traffic to flow around the parking area. This stops people from potentially parking on the roadway and walking into the building entrance. We're also proposing some no parking striping down the roadway to make sure that the curb cut is clear of any sort of blockage, so that we can ensure that the garbage truck is able to travel through the site. Can you go up to the top there? Maybe just zoom in on it. Are you going up? You're going to go down. One more.
One more?
Yep.
Okay.
There. So we have done a turning analysis throughout the parking lot to show that a large rear load garbage truck can get in, can collect the garbage, and make that turn out there, even with a vehicle parked in that loading dock area. Now, if we want to go...
Has fire reviewed that as well?
No, they have not reviewed that yet.
Okay. Has that been requested, or are we waiting on that? Should we make that request?
It has not officially been requested, but it's definitely going to be reviewed by the fire department as part of the review period. Additionally, can you just zoom in on the parking lot area? I know I'm asking you to do all these acrobatics.
No. Got it.
By reducing the travel widths, because now we're going in one-way circulation, that's allowed us to pull our parking back further away from the abutting parcels by a few feet, as well as provide 2 or 3 feet, or I think it's 3 feet of landscaped area between the marijuana dispensary parcel and the project parcel, where some plantings can be installed, as well as we're proposing a 4-foot fence just to sort of cut that, separate the 2 areas. One other thing to mention on this sheet, there was a set of stairs coming off of the other side of the front porch, right where you are showing here. We've removed that set of stairs, which means that all traffic going up to the entrance of the building must travel on site, and people can't just leave off onto the walkway there. We can go to the next sheet. The next one after this. Yeah. So we've adjusted the grading in the parking lot to meet the new building elevations. Really not any other changes on the stormwater plan. Besides, we've added, per DPW request, we've added a clean-out manhole to the, to the sewer line, and as well as modified the sewer connection from a insert a T to using a Y. Then we can go to the.
Want to talk about the testing that you did?
Oh, yeah, we're also in the process, although we haven't completed this yet, of reviewing the sewer capacity on the site. But at this point, we've gone out, with a Vector truck, we've vacuumed, cleaned, and inspected all the lines. I've sent that information over to DPW. They're reviewing that now, and we'll set up a meeting to continue that discussion with the DPW and report back to the board as soon as we can. I think we could just go to landscaping. So one of the changes on the landscaping plan is by the property line in the back of the parking lot area is essentially entirely on top of the subsurface culvert that's in the area. So Gino has requested that we remove and don't plant any trees over the culvert. So we've modified our plan. Now we're not showing trees or evergreens over the culvert. We're replaced them with shrubs and grasses instead.
And added this, you want to talk about this? Big fence. You've already, we've added,
Oh, the fence?
no, the green here.
Oh, yeah, so again, by narrowing up that parking area, you're able to have a nice landscape area on the north side of the parking lot, which we didn't have before, as well as between the two parcels there. Oh, we could just go to lighting. We've also gone back and modified our lighting design
Leave it.
to
I'm sorry.
to remove any light spill from the abutting residential parcels. So now we are shielding and not proposing any light spill onto any of the sides of the parcel except for the roadway, which is going to be lit anyways by municipal lighting. We've also had the trees out there surveyed by an arborist to see if any of them could be saved. But it doesn't look like any of the existing trees that are on the culvert can be kept there without putting the culvert at risk of future damage. So that is why Gino has requested them be removed. We've also added EV charging stations. One of them will be a handicap space, and one will just be a normal space up there at the top of the parking area. And oh, yeah, we did go out and, per request of the abutters, we surveyed all the location of all the abutting parcels in the rear and across the street so that we're able to give accurate setbacks and properly show where the building will be placed in relation to the neighborhood. And I think as far as civil items go, that covers it. Chris, do you want to go?
Do you mind going back to the, so there was a different landscape, there's that, and there was something that had these like red circles that, I don't know if I have here, in the landscaping that was in color.
This?
Yes, yeah. So that has some of the older landscaping on it, that
Yes,
image?
yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no trees up
Yeah,
against that.
unfortunately, we haven't fully updated all the renderings as they're a little bit.
So do you, when you're looking at, say, the one that is more updated with the new plantings, can you just kind of, with the cursor, show where the culvert is?
We can,
Yeah, I mean, if you zoom, it'll probably be easier if you
you want me to go in
want,
here?
if,
Do you
yeah,
want-
I can just kind of. Is there a way to make a mark on here? Oh,
No.
that's not it.
It's not like blue beam.
So the culvert runs essentially, if you can see where my marker is,
Yep.
runs along here, like crosses, it straddles this property line here, runs back here, connects to another culvert that goes north this way, and then it continues this way, sort of through this green space that we're showing here.
Okay. And the thought is that larger trees, the roots would then
Yeah,
just cause more
over
problems.
time,
We
it
already
could
have a
cause
lot of
problems, and with the
that
building there potentially close to the culvert, it could eventually be a structural issue.
So, and of the trees that are being planted, that are on this plan, how many of them are sort of larger shade trees, like for the future, are going to be?
Zoom, where's the zoom? Oh, right there.
There's one elm mentioned.
Yep, I'll go through them right now. There's one yellowwood, one elm, 2 honey locust, 2 maples, and 2 sycamore trees, so 8 trees total.
That would be considered shade trees.
Yeah, right.
Thanks.
Just-
Let me I'll get back. Chris, do you want to?
How you doing? My name is Christopher Crone with TAT. So to go through the updates we did here, so the first thing, as Jacob mentioned, is we removed the stair off the right of the porch, the entry porch. So that has now been removed, and we're going to be redesigning and tweaking the porch a little bit to kind of clean that up overall, how, style-wise later on. But we capped it off, so now we have the entry is just our main entry when you're coming in, as we had it, incorporating the ramp as we had earlier. So that was our big move that we did here, was just on the first floor. Also, kind of addressing comments about the secondary door to the right. That's an egress only. Emergency egress only stair. There'll be alarms, triggers, et cetera. We'll deal with that through hardware about keeping that door propped open so people are kind of going out and in and out. So that's, for management to kind of take care of. No, exactly. Yeah, so will not happen. That's the point. We'll do whatever we can to make sure it's alarm triggered, keeps it sirens to exit only.
Yep.
So that's pretty much what we did here, as you can see. So this really just kind of highlights, as Jacob talked about with the parking. So we just wanted to highlight how the flow of the parking would look with the striping, the sidewalk, et cetera, within this site here. We also did a shadow study, as was asked last time that we were here. So we had our building modeled and just showing pretty much the peak time. So we had in the equinoxes and the shortest day of the year and the longest day of the year, and just kind of the most extreme conditions that can happen. So as you can see, the dark blue is representing where our building would be creating shade to the neighboring buildings, and we go through all 4 seasons of the peak to see what they are. And again, that's through a software that picks out which days are the most critical. And then we have an updated perspective rendering that we did that was asked for us last time to kind of give a better feel. So if you want to go to the before. So this is currently how the site is. We have a nice porta potty over here. So to give a sense of scale, looking down Pine Street. So now if you look to the next street, next to you, yep. Now you can see the scale towards the 1-story, 2-story houses across the street, the single-family homes, and where those gables and peaks of their roofs line up pretty much with our second floor line. Again, we matched our scale of windows to try fitting in with the neighborhood, so to have that contextual feel. So yes, obviously it's a little bit bigger, but again, the scale is very similar. And that's really what we got up. Oh, and sound.
That's it. That summarizes the architectural and the civil updates that we made. There was also In terms of other construction management and operation items that were talked about last meeting, we will be submitting prior to build, as a condition to building permit, a full construction management plan and a pest control plan. We're committing to, a clear trash protocol, sealed dumpsters, regular collection, and no overflow. We'll also be coordinating with the town in the design of the monument sign prior to the final approval and issuing of a building permit. And we've withdrawn a request for the permit and connection waiver fees. I think that that summarizes the changes that we've made. And, we're happy to continue collaborating both with the town, as Jacob mentioned, we still have some work to do in terms of coordinating on the sewer capacity review and working with the DPW on that. And, we'll stay in close coordination with town staff and the abutters and the community and the board as the project continues to be, reviewed.
I'm just looking through the list
Nope.
to make sure we didn't skip anything. Yeah, I think that's all the things that were on the questions. Does anybody from the board have questions? No?
I do not.
Paul, is there anything that you wanted to make sure we're looking at this point? He's muted, but.
I apologize, I was muted. No, so far, so good.
Okay, thanks. All right, so we're going to open up for any questions from abutters. I'm just going to ask that we keep it to kind of new questions. We've covered a lot of things last time. If you have questions about how those were addressed, that's fine, and if you have new questions, that would be great. So if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand and please state your name and address.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Steve Gadman, 11 Pine Street, directly across from...
Oh, we're just going to get you a microphone. Sorry about that. I should have said that.
Steve Gadman, 11 Pine Street, directly across from the building going up. Where the parking that they're taking away on each side of the driveway that's going in, that's kind of why we requested that be moved, because there's a lot of people that park from New Ocean Street that park on Pine Street because they live in the apartments over there. Taking that parking away from there, we know where they're gonna end up. They're gonna end up parking in front of our house and make it more complicated for us. They squeeze in places where they shouldn't. We're going through that right now. So that's why we did request to have, if possible, just have the one exit and entrance over by the local now, going in that way there.
The way it is right now,
The way it is right now.
instead of having it facing our house.
Yeah, so I had heard that, and then they mentioned that. Sounds like that is something that was discussed very recently,
Yeah.
and that there hasn't been sort of work through on how
Yep.
to make that work. But I think that should be something on the table, definitely, and I
Okay.
think the developer agrees that's something that they're willing to try to work out to see how that would work, and work with the town on that. So I would say let's table the concern about that stretch being no
Okay.
parking for now until we see what those plans look like, and then see if it's necessary to have, what's necessary to have marked as no parking once we see kind of what gets worked through.
Right.
Does that-
And question to the engineer about the culvert. You had mentioned the one going along the property and then one going north. What about the one going about across Pine Street?
So the one going to the south is going to be relocated prior to the construction of this project.
So that's the one that's being relocated?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure which one was.
No, the other ones that run along the north and go to the north, those are staying in the same place. The culvert that's under the roadway is going in the same place. We're coming around and then tying back into the culvert. So we're just relocating the section that comes down south through the site.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Hi, just say your name and address, please. And actually, if you can pass the microphone, thank you.
Alicia McCarthy, 9 Pine Street. I'm just wondering if you could point to the documents that I should look at for all of the sewer information. I know the culverts have been an issue. I know over the past year, they've spent countless hours cleaning them out every single day. I don't know, I've lived here for a long time. I don't know the last time they cleaned them out like that. I'm just wondering, is that going to be maintained? Does it need to be maintained in order for this to work?
So those
Who's
are good,
responsible for
good
maintaining
questions.
that?
Yeah. At this point, it looks like they're still studying, so they cleaned them out, they sent a camera down to take pictures, and I'm sure you can say more than that, and then it's getting reviewed from DPW, and so that's still a portion of this project that is being worked on. Is there anything else?
No, that's correct.
That's correct,
Thank you.
okay. And so if you need to find the documents for, all these documents with the sewage plans and things like that, they are available on the town website, and Christy can help you access them if you're having trouble. But everything that's been submitted to us is posted there, so everyone can see it.
Yeah, and once we get this study further along, it'll be submitted to the board as well, so you'll have access to that.
Yeah, so once the
Okay,
study's,
so it's just not completed?
the study's not completed yet.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Is there anybody online who has questions also? You can, someone has their, raise their hand. MF.
Hi, Heather.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
This is Mary Ellen Fletcher, Precinct 4. I just have a question. I missed what Yara said about fees. Could you just repeat that?
Oh, all the fees, the different fees that were requested those waivers are going to be withdrawn. Those waiver requests, the waiver requests are going to be withdrawn.
So they'll be paying.
Okay.
So they will be paying the fees.
Thank you. I just wanted clarification on that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, does anybody else have anything?
Madam Chair, John Smolak, attorney for the applicant. One question we had was related to peer review. We understood that there was an effort for peer review. We're not sure exactly what the peer review was proposed for, and I'm not sure we've seen any details on that, and wondering whether the board has heard anything further on that.
So our plan was to do more peer review on parking and traffic in that area, but if there's a chance that one of the concerns was the kind of if you're relocating that all changes, so we'd want sort of a study done that we could review once you've made the changes, if you're going to make them. And then the other peer review was for what was that officially called, Christy? For all the civil plans, and that was recommended. I think Gino recommended somebody to do that peer review for us.
Okay.
And we will be in contact with you soon.
Okay. Yeah, we'd like to just see what the scope is and
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
understand it.
great.
Thank you.
I think those are the only 2 peer reviews we're planning on doing. But yeah, we'll hold off on the traffic until we have a definite.
But on the civil, we far enough along to engage a peer review?
I personally, I just don't think that there's really anywhere else that the design can go. So I don't know that it would be premature to get a peer reviewer looking at it.
Well, I'm wondering about things like just the,
Well, yeah.
If the driveway.
just getting
Yeah,
a
I
look,
think it does make sense to wait until we know what we're doing with the driveway and.
okay,
Okay.
right, because that could change some of the drainage and stuff like that, and
Yeah, and until all the kind of studies, that study needs to be sort of
when do you
done
think,
to review it.
when do you think it'll be in a position to have it updated in for review?
Well, I mean, I guess that depends on how this study goes. You know, if we determine that we can't relocate the entryway, then we're basically there. But
Yeah.
if we do, then I probably need 2, maybe 3 weeks, probably 2 weeks or less to just get like a sketch into you so you can see the layout. But I'd have to get the civil plans ready, so that would be maybe, I would want to say 2 weeks.
And we'd also have to work with the town, you know, there's implications on our land development agreement with the town, and that land is currently leased by the, you know, it's town land, but it is currently leased by the dispensary, so we'd have to talk with, you know, with the town and figure out how that, if that is legally also possible. So it's about both design-wise and legally.
Yeah, okay. And then the other thing that we're still waiting, what you were talking about with the sewage research that's being done, that report isn't done, so we would need that finished before we.
So I have information into Mark Noonan, and he's reviewing the study that we've done so far, and then we'll have a meeting with him and determine if he wants any more information or if he wants repairs on specific portions of the pipes, and but exactly what the DPW wants to see done there.
Okay, so I guess we would have to wait for all that to be done too before we did the peer review.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering what Paul thinks about when the town should engage the peer review so that it's in their queue, so that, you know, if it's done in 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and then we wait to engage a peer reviewer, you know, we have such a short time frame. I'm curious, Paul's got a lot of experience with it, so I'm wondering what he thinks.
No, it's a fair point, and I guess the only question is if the board feels that it can authorize Paul to proceed with the peer review.
That it can what?
If the board can authorize Paul to proceed with the peer review between now and when the plans are revised, so such that we don't lose the extra 2 weeks or so before the next meeting, maybe that's the approach to take, if the board's willing to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious Paul's thoughts.
Yeah, Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, so typically it would be town staff and maybe one member of the board that would be involved in the selection of the peer review consultants. I always recommend you get them on board as quickly as possible, even if, you know, you're at a stage where you're not quite ready for them to commence. At least you've got them in place and ready to go, because as was stated, the time goes really quickly. You've got 180 days from the date that you open the public hearing to commence your hearing process, and that goes very, very fast. So the sooner you get your peer review consultants in place, the better.
Okay, and I think Christie's working on that already, so yeah, so I think we're
All right, perfect.
on track with that. All right, does anybody else have any questions? Who's here? Anyone, or anyone online? They can use the raise a hand button.
Heather.
Yeah. Oh. Hi, you got it.
Sorry.
Hi, go ahead.
Just because we're still talking about the parking, during our meeting with the developers, we had discussed if they were unable to use one entrance because of whatever land agreement there is, possibly that left bottom, like patch of green, like possibly moving the entrance to like the very end of Pine Street there, so it's not directly across from our driveways and
So
our
it's onto,
houses.
that would be onto New Ocean there. Yeah.
That
Right
location
now is where it
is
is.
a very dangerous spot for a driveway, especially considering the history of the road. If we put a driveway there, there may be queuing issues going around up New Ocean onto Pine Street. We're cramming it in between the Pine Street intersection and the existing parking lot. So, and also the way it comes in would come in such a way that we would at least have to lose 1 or 2, maybe even more parking spaces, because it doesn't come into an aisle, it kind of comes into the side of the parcel that we have parking up against. So it's something that we could look into. I'm concerned about the safety of that location, but we could certainly discuss it with Gino and see his thoughts on it.
Yeah, I can see those concerns at that location. I think it would be ideal to, if there was a solution, it would be the one entrance solution.
I just have a question. Last time, and at our meeting, I asked about the information on the equipment that's going on the roof, about the decibel levels
Yep.
coming off. If they've gotten that information yet?
So what we do know now is that everything will be to code. They're not asking for relief for decibels or any relief for that. But the actual levels and the actual equipment will be part of the building plan, which comes after the approval of all the relief. So they're not asking for relief, which is good news. It means that they're not expecting to need it or anything.
Okay, thank you.
All right, does anybody else have anything? All right, so we will continue to next month. Do you have a
Sure.
question? Yeah.
Well, just a point of clarification in terms of the peer review.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering whether, the board would authorize the chair to authorize the peer review, provided that we provide a proposed solution that's run through perhaps Gino, and if he's satisfied with that, to proceed with the peer review.
Are we talking about the peer review for the civil?
Yeah, I think the question
Yeah.
is, if we are able to do that driveway curb cut, can the board approve Gino to give the go-ahead to move forward with the peer review, so that we can get the extra time prior to the next zoning board meeting to work on the peer review?
Makes a
I
lot
mean,
of sense.
yeah, we can work on peer review between meetings. Is
But
that
do
what
we
you're
need,
asking?
do we need a vote? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was just asking.
Okay.
Just procedurally,
Procedurally, we just need a
for us,
vote
a motion to.
to engage peer
approve-
review.
To engage peer
Okay.
review for the civil, and leaving it, if you were going to be the designee from.
Yeah,
the
I'll
board.
work with Christie and Gino to get that done.
So we should, and then when we have Tony, we should probably do a roll call vote on that motion.
Okay. Are you ready to make a motion?
I can make the motion.
Thanks, Mark.
So I'll make a motion to designate Heather to be the board designee, to work on the selection of the civil peer review, and to work with the DPW or any other department that's required or reasonably necessary to properly engage the correct peer review person, and to engage and commence if the plans are at a sufficient stage to have that review.
I'll second it.
All right, we'll do a roll call. Susan?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And
And
Tony?
then Tony? Tony might be muted.
He's muted, I know. Is he there?
Tony, if you can just vote on that authorization. You need to unmute yourself if you're.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, it's weird.
He texted me, yes, I'm trying to unmute.
I'm going to count that as a yes, but to be honest, we don't necessarily need it. We still have the approval without it, so. But we'll call it unanimous. All right. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to, what's that?
The text
The
count.
text counts, yes, exactly. So we will continue to our next meeting. I'm just looking at my calendar as to when that is, because we have a holiday next month.
We have it on the 18th.
We have it on the 18th, all right. So can we just get a motion to continue to our meeting on November 18th?
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing to November 18th.
Can we get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Tony's okay without, we
got
can,
enough
we can
votes.
still do it without him.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.